Hey y'all, it's Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Okay, I got some 4 hungry pigs behind me right now, and this is their evening's ration. Basically break it up into twice a day for them. And it's just typical stuff, same stuff we feed the chickens. There's really no distinction between this and what we feed all the chickens. They're all omnivores, right? And they all eat about the same stuff. So in this bucket, we got a little bit of everything. Now, this is the area they've been in for a little while. Now there's a bunch of barometers that you could use to determine whether or not you want to move them. For example, Joel Salatin uses the feeder itself, the 2-ton or I think 1-ton feeder that he puts in that area. When it runs out, he knows that it's time to move. Well, we got these guys going up the side of a mountain and we don't have that luxury. And besides, we don't use dry food. I mean, they pretty much eat wet food waste from other places every day. And by the way, they taste delicious. But this is no GMO food, the whole 9 yards. Okay, they've already done enough trampling in here. May have gone a day or two too long. And some of the other stuff, they've cleared out the base of it like this. I don't know, I think it's called creeping raspberry. I'm not sure what it is. But stuff like that, these giant shrubs that are real thorny and nasty. They at least cleared it to give us an opportunity to get in there with a chainsaw, cut it off, drag it out, and then we can go ahead and drive on. Now, some of this stuff where they've laid it down already, all we're gonna do is maybe, if we feel like it, go in there and scatter some seed. But we also have a lot of that Chinese silvergrass, which is a mess here. And these guys do a fantastic job of knocking it out. So people have asked, how do we do the move? Now, everybody that does this sort of thing may be acquainted with the way, let's say the most famous way that Joel Salatin teaches, where you have paddocks that are pre-made. You open a gate and they go through there. Well, we don't have that luxury. Not right now. And plus, we're in an area that hasn't been touched in what seems like centuries. So it's all thorny, nasty, and everything else. So what we do, we got this, we never used it before now, but we basically got this pig fence. And that's what we're using to get up through here. Now we have to go through, or William went through, basically with a hardcore weed eater with a blade on it, and knocked down a path on the top of this over to the next paddock. Now we're not gonna move the entire paddock, we're only gonna take half of it. So we clear a half and then move it another half. Clear a half, you get the picture. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna take this bucket of feed, I'm gonna walk over here. Since they're going that way, I'm gonna take this feed, go dump it up there. Now the cool thing about the rice and the chips and everything else, they ain't gonna be done in 5 minutes. They ain't gonna be done in 10 minutes. In fact, they're not even gonna be done in 45 minutes. They're gonna go after, I wait till they're hungry, and then we do moves like this. So I'll keep these guys and gals, well actually they're all guys, Craig, Smokey, Debo, and Big Worm. So we're gonna take the boys, we're gonna go over there, I'm gonna dump this out, spread it out a little bit so they're not fighting too much. And we could take down the net completely, which we will do, but they ain't going nowhere. We'll show you. Okay, that's right where they're gonna stay. So I successfully made it down without breaking a hip. Now, in leisure, we can disconnect this fence, get it up through the area that William has already weed-eated, bring it back down on the other side of these trailers, and then we're ready to rock and roll. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and police this fence up. Okay, y'all, when you do this with pigs, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Just tie a little overhand, or what you call a granny knot, or the way you tie your shoes, essentially, which really isn't the same, but we'll just say that it is. You want to tie that, and you want to leave your bow on the outside if you can, because these guys are clever enough to where they'll start chewing on it if they get bored. Now remember, when you join two fences, you're only going to connect one end of it, just like so. See? Comes off, and you can just connect it back. So we're just going to go ahead and run this down the way. These guys are well occupied. All right, y'all, there we are, no time at all. So without them even knowing it, their whole enclosure just changed around them. So you don't necessarily have to go into another paddock. You don't have to do any of that. All you do is just slinky their net, but make sure they're hungry. And you don't want to give them something that they're just going to eat in a couple of minutes. You want to spread, and if you do have feed, spread it out on the ground so they got to work for it. Because by the time they realize what happened, it's too late. So anyway, just to kind of give you an example of what these guys can do, and these are not even the best pigs for doing this kind of work. These are guinea hogs. So anyway, you see that thicket right over there? How nasty, you can't even walk in it. That's exactly what all the rest of this looked like. And here it is. They've given us avenues of approach over here to be able to get in there and cut down this stuff that we couldn't otherwise get to. They've cleared out the bottoms. You can't see it, but they've cleared them out, where I can go in with a chainsaw, whack it out, and drag it out and get it down. So now we're seeing parts of this property that were never even seen before. I mean, the last time, who even knows? But the good thing is, these guys are working this area down low, and the next backs we do, we'll run them up even higher and higher and higher and higher in the landscape. But the cool thing is, this stuff is done. We get it out of the way, then we get some forage in here that we really want. Maybe even a little bit of grass. So folks, I hope that helps. So remember, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell people about what we're doing here, because it's cool, right? So until next time, this is Billy, the Permaculture Pimp Daddy, where PIMP stands for Permaculture is my passion. We'll see you next time. That is pimping, not cool. Listen to this.